This is a demonstration of the deck plugin. The deck plugin is a successor or replacement for the cards plugin. When I started to make the cards plugin, the objective was for objects to be able to stack on top of each other like cards in a deck, and do that. However, due to the way that Talespire is implemented, they don't have good support for many-to-many collisions and stacking, so that turned out to be pretty difficult. I did get a version of it kind of working, but it was a real nightmare, especially when reloading a board to get them all in the proper sequence again. And it meant that when a deck was shuffled, it would need to send a lot of information through asset to data, which, if it's using the chat service plugin, could actually cause some of that data to be lost, because BR has implemented a cap on how frequent you can send messages through chat. So anyways, so that plugin was basically replaced by the Decks plugin, which kind of cheats a little bit and simplifies things. So now, when you have a deck of objects, instead of showing all of them and having to stack them properly, what it does is it only shows the top item on the deck, and then adds a deck identifier to say that that's not a single item, that is a deck. So here we can see we're seeing only one card here, but we've got the deck modifier on top of it saying this is not a single card, this is a deck. Now, if you select a deck, what it does is it automatically draws the top card from the deck. So if I click on this deck, you can see I've picked up the top card on that deck, and now the next card in the deck is being displayed. So at the moment, that means there's some limitations with this. Right now, there's no practical way to move a deck, because every time you try to select the deck, you're just going to be drawing the top card. That's all stuff that will get fixed in the future, but I want to get the basic version of this plugin out so people can try it. Then once we've got cards and decks, if we right click, we've got operations. So here, this is a single card, so I get only the single card menu showing up. And so far we've got here flip, face down, and face up. So I can flip the card over, for example, and there's my 20. I'm going to flip that back, and I'm going to actually throw this back onto the deck here. So this deck that I've created here is a sample deck which has 20 cards, all numbered from 1 to 20. So you can kind of use it in lieu of a D20 if you want to get fancy. So I'm going to demonstrate here. I've got the deck. Now that I've selected the deck, you can see I've got the card operation still for the top card, but I've also got the deck operations. So I'm going to shuffle this deck. I'm going to shuffle it a few times. Okay, and now I can use this as a D20. So I'm going to draw the top card, flip it over, and what did I roll? I rolled a 13. So anyways, here we can basically see the functionality of single cards and decks. Now, the obvious question might be, well, if I've got a deck of cards, how can I put cards into my hand so that only I can see what those cards are and other players cannot? So the way that I've decided to do that is by using the invisibility plugin. And what the invisibility plugin does is it allows the GM and the player to see their own minis, but not other players. So what we're going to do is, if I take a card here and I change the ownership on it to give it to myself, we can see that briefly the base appeared there kind of white, showing us now that that card is owned by us. And now I can see this the GM can see this, but another player would not see this. With a single instance here, I can't really demonstrate that, and that's what I really need somebody to test, to basically try this with multiple players and make sure that that is working. But that is how that should work. Now, what I can also do is I can spawn a couple more cards here. So I'm going to flip these over, and flip that one over. So if I give myself, again, ownership of these cards, so they're in my hand, okay, and I'm going to make a deck of 2 here. So now we can see we've got a deck that is owned by me, so the players would not see this deck, but I would, and then I've got a single card here. So the next question might be, well, that's great, but then how do I know if I can't see players' cards? How do I know if they have any cards in their hand and how many? So for that, again, because there is no, with the invisibility plugin, you don't see any cards or minis that are associated with another player. Then there is a hotkey that shows you how many cards each player has. If you would hit this multiple times, it would cycle through players. Again, I'm in a single player game here, so it's showing only the one player, but you can see it's telling me that I've got 3 cards and they're spread over one deck. So yes, this is a single card, so it's not a deck, so I do have one deck here. If I was to go and oops, don't want to do that yet. I want to give myself permissions here and give myself permissions. Same thing right now. The permissions for a card are just using the regular Talespire permissions, which means that a player can't do that. So the player, the GM would have to assign the permissions to those cards. That's another improvement that will be coming in a future update where players will be able to draw their own cards. So I'm going to just flip these over. Face up. So right now, if I hit that same hotkey, you can see it's now telling me I've got 5 cards and spread over 2 decks. So again, 2 decks plus a solitary card. So that's basically how the deck plugin works. Again, at this point, the plugin is really ready for testing, but I need somebody to take the plugin and try it with players to actually see that it is working properly. I know these videos don't have great production quality, but they do have a lot of useful information. So please appease the YouTube algorithm goddess by casting the subscribe spell and then blasting your Eldritch Blast at the like button. It'll really help me out.